Who am I? I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona. Anybody know where that little most western town of the West is? Up until a couple of years ago, we still had some hitching posts for the horses outside a couple of the bars in downtown on Main Street in Scottsdale. You could actually ride your horse down and get a beer. But they got rid of that because they couldn't figure out how to retrofit horses with turn signals and stoplights. So kind of defeated the purpose. Anyway, I've been in real estate over 20 years, residential and commercial. I do fix and flips, wholesales, buy and holds, rehabs, whatever you call it, I've done it. I do apartments, condo conversions. Anybody know what that is? Yes. And a hotel. That's an interesting experience. Anybody know where Albuquerque, New Mexico is? Oh, yeah. I owned a hotel there for 3 years. I've done 20,000 units in transactions, over 7,000 apartment units, and I've raised over $750 million in money from private investors, just like you guys. But first and foremost, I'm a dad. I am an active investor today. I'm not one of those people those who can do and those who can't teach. I'm not that guy. I am an active investor, and I'll show you checks from just last month and about to close 2 or 3 this month on deals that I'm currently doing, and I'm always doing deals. I'm a business partner with Zack and some others, and I'm a mentor and a coach. So I'm here to help you guys this weekend. And all I can say is, if you leave here and didn't ask myself or some of the other coaches in this room for help, that's your problem. And you need to fix that. Got it? So, participation is very, very important this weekend and in life. Because how often have people walked up to you and just handed you money? Put it in your hand. Does it happen very often? Maybe never. But have you ever asked for help? Ever asked for money and gotten it? Hey, even if it's 50% of the time, it's a 50-50 shot, right? My kids figured that out a long time ago. Their hand is always out. If we could go back and be an 8-year-old, guess how much money we might be having right now? Because we're not afraid to ask, right? Ask for the help. I'm from Scottsdale. Where are y'all from? Shout it out. Where are you from? All right. Who thinks they traveled the furthest to be here this weekend? Who just thinks it? Or know it? You know it? Where are you from?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, but I traveled from Conway, Arkansas.
Conway, Arkansas? That's actually closer to here than St. Louis. You should have stuck with St. Louis.
I was there.
Where else? Canada. What part? East or west? Toronto. Is that on the east side? The easternish part of Canada? It is. That's pretty good. Can anybody beat, just because you say Canada, it makes it sound like it's a long way away, but Vancouver is further away than Toronto, right? Oh, you drove. Oh, they drove. You could have flew here too. Where are you from, sir?
It's not for me. Sue is on the other side of the room. She's from California.
Uh-huh. Sue's from California. Did you drive? Oh, thank goodness. Now, we had a guy in our event in Nashville last year from Australia. He drove and swam. No, he flew. He flew specifically to be at the event. And so that by far is the guy who came from the furthest. So anybody further away than California? Because actually I believe California is a little further away than Toronto. Oregon. Well, you're West Coast, but Oregon's north, and Charlotte here is of the south.
I came from Florida. So
From Florida? Oh.
I've been all around.
We're on vacation.
Vacation? No, well, that's all right. And you're doing this on vacation?
Yes, we are.
Make money while you play? Right? Okay, so Oregon, but you weren't really there. You were in Florida, but you're from Oregon. California, you actually left California. What part?
Monterey.
Okay, love that. They got a big aquarium there. Lots of garlic and artichokes.
Yes. Love it.
Yes. Anybody had a grilled artichoke? Ever had a grilled artichoke? Not a lot of you. You're missing out. Those are good. That it? Anybody? Further? California? Sue? Give yourself 1,000 points for traveling that far to be here. So pick up your blue workbooks. This guy should be one on the table when you sit down. This is a very, very important publication. Turn to the very back page. And at the top of the back page, write my points. And then a little reminder to tally your points at the end of each day. Because on Sunday, I don't want you to have to try and add up 3 days worth of points to figure out how many you have, because whoever participates the most and has the most points will win a package, typically a software package worth over $5,000. Is that worth participation? Absolutely. So, my points on the back page with an asterisk to remember to total them daily so that on Sunday you can give us a total fairly quickly. And the other reason why this is a very, very important document is because you'll notice when you flip through the pages, they will have your notes inside, which means they're your aha moments. And I want each of you to look for your aha moments, because I attend events like this just like you do. And it's my goal to come away with as many nuggets as I can. And sometimes there are so many, I'm forgetting them. They're falling out of my pockets. They're all over the place. I'm walking around, somebody goes, "Here, sir, is this your nugget?" I say, "Absolutely, thank you for that." But if I don't write them down and keep it with me, I'll forget them. So at the end of every event, I will take this home. I will make notes, and I will go in and capture my thoughts and put them in a calendar and do various things so that I will remember them and remember why I thought it was such a great idea and try to integrate it into my life. And if I can integrate one nugget out of every seminar, just one, it was worth the price of admission. It was worth coming all the way from California for. Or taking a few days off of your vacation to be able to sit and learn. Not just from Andrew, but of course you're here to see Zack. I used to have to introduce myself and say I am not Zack Childress. But now we have a video, so I got a little introduction, and thank you very much for that. So, thank you for letting us know where you're from, and I hope that you share a lot more over the weekend, and we get to know each other pretty well. Why are you here? Learn. Learn. Anything else? Implement. I heard an implement.
To make money.
Who said make money? Good for you. Right? Let's put it all out on the table. Forget the whole, I'm here for my kids. I'm here because my spouse told me I should go. Get out of the house. I'm sick and tired of you sitting around the house and not doing anything all day. Sorry for that. Now, if anybody goes to sleep, I'm just going to get near the speaker again, and that's going to happen, all right? What's your name?
Gail.
Gail, please give yourself 1,000 points for that very intuitive answer, because we're all here for education is nice, but if we don't turn it into the Almighty, what's it good for? At the end of the day, our dollars, whether we put them in our pockets, pay for our children's education, or give them to our church, we still need them because they make the world go round for us and everybody around us, right? Let's be honest, we're here for the dollars. And Zack is going to show you some ways to make more dollars in so many creative ways than you ever imagined. Don't leave. You got to stay through till the last minute of Sunday. You don't want to. We're giving nuggets all the way to the end. Believe me? Yeah. You want them? Yeah. Fantastic. AC gave you a little bit of house rules. There might be a couple things that he didn't touch on, and I just want to make sure that I do as well. No recording, okay? We're recording this event. And we're going to make sure that some copies may be made available. Part of the folks being a VIP Gold are going to get a copy of this, so that's fantastic. But you want Zack to be candid. You want Zack to give you all the information, so we don't want him to think that somebody's here recording what he's saying for some obscure reason. So if you have a laptop, and I don't see anybody who really has one, be careful, because I don't want people behind you being distracted by what you got going on your screen. I know you might have brought it to take notes with and those kinds of things, but you're really not here this weekend to be checking your emails and doing that kind of stuff while you're in this class, okay? Save that for break. Save it for this evening when you're home, back in your room. we want you focusing on what's going on here because you never know when you might miss a nugget. Fair enough? Okay. There's something in this event world that we call a hallway guru. If that person hasn't already introduced themselves, they will. They're in every group, and they're going to introduce themselves to you in this room or out in the hallway or at lunch, and they're going to tell you how smart they are and how all their business ways and savvy are so much more valuable than Zack's, and that you should listen to them. That's going to happen. And when it does, just nod and smile politely, and then come up and tell one of us that somebody's trying to tell you that they're smarter than Zack is. And even though this isn't their event, they're here to try and teach you something. Or worse yet, we had a gentleman at an event that was convincing students to invest in his marijuana dispensary business. Was that distracting? Almost a third of the people were talking about his marijuana dispensary business, and if they just invest $5,000 or $10,000 with him, he could double their money in 6 months and those types of things. Is that what you're here to do? No. Are you here to invest in a marijuana dispensary? No. Or Mary Kay? No. Or Amway? No. Or anything else like that? No. Don't get distracted, and don't let others distract you, because we have enough of our friends and family and everybody else that's trying to pull us down. We got enough people out there who don't want us to be successful, right? So we don't need somebody within our group to try and distract us from what we're really here to do and what we're here to learn this weekend. Agreed? If somebody's out there guruing you, you come tell me, all right? And then I will go give them a nice little interview, and we'll find out how much they really know. Because this isn't their event, it's Zack's event. And if they're so smart, go get your own event. All right? Go write a book and go teach some people, but don't do it here. You're not welcome here. All right? So hallway gurus, if you're here, shut up, pay attention. Maybe you'll learn something this weekend. All right? All right. Take notes, talk amongst yourselves, and participate. Promise? Awesome. And if you need help, what are you going to do? Who are you going to ask? Any of us. In fact, I'm going to introduce you to them right now. Carly, would you and your team come on up here, please? I'm going to have you meet all of your coaches and mentors right now. Write their names down, and then you guys make sure when you have a question, you know where to go. It's not that kind of introduction. It's not an all-male review. All right, take it away.
All right, guys. So just a little format, because remembering names can be challenging. What we're all going to do is just say our first name and where we're from, and then you guys will repeat back, hi, whatever the name is. So can we do that? Yeah. You guys awake? All right. So here's good practice. So, hi, my name is Brock. Hi. That's pretty good. I feel like I'm in an AA meeting. Good job, you guys. So I live in New York. I know there's a few New Yorkers here. Jersey, what up? All right, cool, like all two of you. I've been investing in real estate for the last 14 years. I've done all facets of the business, rehabbing, wholesaling, buying, holding property. But I might surprise some of you to tell you that my passion is not real estate investing. My passion is actually skiing, spending time with my two daughters, traveling, and I'm also a published author, and I love to write books. So that's kind of my thing, but real estate investing has allowed me the freedom to really pursue my other passion. So I'm here for you guys this weekend to help however I can. I want to ask all of you to come up at some point to me and tell me what your passion is and why you're doing this. Can you guys do that? Yes. All right, cool. I'm going to hand it off to my friend Jeff. Thanks, you guys.
Good job, Brock. Yeah, give him a round of applause. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Awesome. My name is Jeff Fallon. Perfect. Like Brock, I have started buying real estate, 23 years ago when I was only like 12. Anyways, I love real estate. I'm passionate about it, and I'm also passionate about helping people. That's why I'm here. So if and when you guys have any questions at breaks, lunch, bathroom, later, I'm going to be at the back of the room all weekend long to help you out. My passion started because I'm from Chicago, born and raised. Oh, all right. Go Bears, go Bulls, go Hawks, go Cubs. We finally got a World Series.
No White
Anyways.
Sox. No White Sox.
Oh, I'm a Cubs fan. Yeah, but I'm not a hater.
All right,
I got
all right.
friends that are Sox fans.
All right.
My St. Louis buddy over here, I know, Cardinals. Anyways, off the sport. That's what I'm passionate about. I grew up playing sports every other weekend with Dad because the parents were divorced, and I got a front row seat to watching my single mom work 12 and 16-hour days. And so I thought there's got to be an easier way than, quote unquote, hit the clock like that for 40 years. So that was my why getting into real estate. So I applaud you all for being here because I was in your seats 23 years ago, and that's how I got my education, and I took massive action is the bottom line. And so with that said, I've done a lot of buy and holds, managed property for 12 years in Chicago, all 4 seasons, and I get it. And now I'm a private money lender, so that's what I do to stay active, and I'm also a consultant. So again, by all means, come ask me questions if you need help. I'd love to answer and help you out. And I just have a high value on the coaching. So we're going to tell you more about that through the conference, and I'm going to pass it on to Eric. Thank you.
Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Thank you, thank you. First of all, I want everybody to give a round of applause for yourself for just showing up. It's huge. Yeah. And I'm from Alabama. I know you can probably hear it in my voice. And what's interesting about me is I started working with Zack about 2 years ago, and I fell in love with entrepreneurship about 6 years ago. And I just love the idea of freedom. And at the point of my life, that's all it was an idea. Until I started engaging with Zack, and he started teaching me about business and marketing strategies, and it impacted my life, a lot, because not only am I in a position to achieve my own freedom, but I get to help others get their freedom as well. And it impacts my son because he gets to see me do my own thing, and I get to really raise him the right way to really show him that it's a different way to do things, and that's huge. So to me, it's about legacy and really helping people, and I really enjoy what I'm doing, and I hope that you all see for an opportunity for yourself to enjoy the same thing, okay?
All right. Thank you, Eric.
Hello, my name's AC.
Hello, AC.
I like walking on the beach, the color purple. I am an investor out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I have 31 years as a law enforcement officer. Finished up my career as a range master playing with guns. I started in real estate back before some of you all were even born. But because I'm here and I now have access to people like this young man, I can help him and help you not endure some of the major ballistic missiles that I have taken in my assets. Everybody look at me. So I like to equate it to the iceberg. What part of the iceberg are you all looking at right now? The part above the water or below when you look up here at this group? Yeah, above. None of you have any idea of the arrows that we've taken. True or false? To be able to stand up in front of you and to be able to help you in a way that maybe we didn't have. Yes? 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 I'm the guy with these guys here this weekend to help you to move forward. I'm a blue water kind of guy. You all are here to get an education. Yes? Let me see you raise your hands if you're here to get an education. Yes. Now, I want to see your hands go back up if you know you're going to need help and more education after you leave. Put your hands up. That's right. So I'm not shy about telling all of you. You know why you're here. You know ultimately on day 3 what's coming. Yes? Yes? Blue water okay? I'm glad to see you here, and I hope that we can help you with that legacy moving forward. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Isn't the team awesome? My name's Carly.
Hi, Carly.
Hey.
You like walking on beaches?
I also like walking on beaches. Not a big fan of purple. I go for more of the turquoises. No. For real, I got involved with real estate investing over a decade ago. I had the luxury of a boss who became a mentor to me. Unintentionally, it wasn't expected. I wanted to buy a home. I was pregnant with my son, married at the time, and it was a new life for us, a lot of responsibility as adults that we weren't quite prepared for. So he took me under his wing. He taught me how to purchase my first pre-foreclosure, which resulted in a substantial profit, turned me on to the idea of using real estate as a way to create security and more freedom for myself and my family. Fast forward, I've been through a divorce, which obviously caused a little bit of hardship in the finances, but it also kept me in a situation where I knew I was going to be okay. So I've been able to use real estate, many different facets of it, and been able to invest in 3 different states, which has allowed me and my son to travel. We get to do things that most people would never be able to do with their children simply because they're tied to a job or certain situations don't have the resources. So I'm here to tell you that, mentoring can be a huge impact for you as you grow in your business, and I think there can be a lot of challenges that come our way that either we let get in our way or they're real challenges that can come up, and sometimes having someone that's objective and looking at your situation a little bit differently and keeping you from getting into those messes can be helpful. So last night when we were unpacking, I noticed this sign. It says, "Success occurs when your dreams get bigger than your excuses." And it really resonated with me as we begin this event because many of you have come here for different reasons. They're reasons that keep you having the desire to want more, to be more, to have more, whatever the case is. So I've noticed in my many years of helping people like yourself getting started and growing in your business, those same reasons you want to do something different often become the same excuses you allow yourself to make come Sunday. So I challenge you over the weekend to not just challenge yourselves and think about the reasons why you're here and how those can become an obstacle for you over the weekend. And by Sunday, I would hope that all of you have taken the time to meet with one of the team members and you're able to really express your interest and desire in doing this so that we can help you overcome those challenges that you'll have in the future. So with that, I'm going to bring Drew back up on stage. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I would also like to acknowledge our other team, and most of you met when you were coming in, Tyler and Jill and Joseph. So they're also here to help. And if you need help, do you know where you're going? You know who you're going to? You know where to go? That back table. That is your safety net back there. That is the place for you to go this weekend. If you need anything, you want to talk to somebody, just get up and head to the back table. There's going to be multiple people back there at any given time. That's your comfort zone, your safety spot, your concierge, whatever you need. Back table's the good place to go. You got it? If you're not in your seat, check it out back there. Sound good? Yes. So if you need help, where do you go? Back table. You got it. So REI Success Academy was created by Zack about 5 years ago. He's been doing real estate a long, long time. But he really wanted to get into the realm of helping other people succeed. He's found a knack, and he'll tell you he's from Alabama and he didn't really finish school and he doesn't spell the best. So I got to be careful when he gives me slides to put up on a PowerPoint as I got to go through them, and you might think I misspelled a word. And I've had people come up and say, "You didn't spell that right." And I go, "You're right. I didn't spell it, but I should have double checked it, right?" But at the end of the day, is the message the same even if the word is spelled wrong? Yeah, so we're not going to focus too much on that because not too many people in Zack's situation are going to be in his position today because of several very key factors and personality traits that he will share with you, and so will I. But he built REI Success Academy to show students how to be successful in real estate. And the way that works is through a system. If I tell you how to get from here to New York, are you going to be able to remember what I'm telling you and then just find your way there? As opposed to me showing you on a map or an app on your phone or something like that, and actually give you a tool that will not only get you there faster, avoid traffic jams, and maybe get you there the cheapest way too. Maybe you need cheap, maybe you need fast. They're not always the same, right? Cheap and fast isn't always the same. I wish it was. So we want to keep students educated, up to date with market conditions, always know when the right time to invest. But I can tell you, just like the stock market, they say you can make money when the stocks are going up or going down. Have you heard that? Is that true? I don't know why I'm always doing the opposite, though. I'll buy a stock and it goes down. And then what do? I sell it. Why did I do that? Just hold on to it till the price comes back. At that point, if it went to zero, I wouldn't be losing much else. So what difference does it make? But that's why I'm not in stocks. It doesn't work for me. Real estate's my game. I'll share some stories with you, but I bought an apartment complex once. Well, more than once. It was paying about $4,000 a month. And about a year after I bought it, the value dropped in half. What do you think I did? I kept it. It was paying me $4,000 a month. Why would I sell it? Did its value matter? No. So you can make money in real estate whether it's going up or going down. It just depends on the strategy you use. And we're going to make sure you know what strategy to use so that you're always making money in real estate. Sound good? All right. We want to build success stories. When Zack helps a person get a check, we want you to share that story with us. Is that fair? Is that fun? Who cashed the check? Yes, you did. Please share it with us. All right? Good. And we have 5 core company values, the 5F lifestyle. I'm wearing one right here. If you don't have one, ask for one in the back. The 5F could become a key foundation for your life. Okay? Faith. We believe that we can help build faith in our students to believe in themselves. Is that important? We want you to have faith. And if you're one of the few who don't have faith in a higher power, at least have faith in yourself. Right? I don't even know an atheist who can't have faith in themselves. Have faith in something. Hopefully it's you and a higher power. Family, we believe that we're an extended family to our students. Anybody ever heard that before from a person at the front of a stage telling you that we want to treat you and be family with you? That's important to us. We want you to feel like your family. All right? Freedom. There's lots of freedoms in the world, but we believe in helping our students find freedom in their life, whether it's financial freedom or financial freedom, or the third, financial freedom. Because financial freedom really gives you a lot of other freedoms. It allows you to do a lot of other things. But no, we want you, whatever's holding you back, whatever your chains are, we want you to find freedom from that. All right? Fitness. Who believes in fitness? Ever heard of mental fitness? Anybody have a shelf full of self-help books? Did you ever read them? More than once? That's the hard part. I say the cover looks good, and I buy it, and I read the prologue and the pre-foreclosure and the pre-log and the obituary, and then I go, I think I got it. And then I share it with somebody. This was a good book. You should read it. And then afterwards I say, so what'd you learn? That's my Cliff Notes version. That's how I found out some of this stuff. Fitness. We want to help our students gain strength mentally and physically in all areas of their life to excel. We're going to help you do that. It's from mindset, okay? And fellowship. We believe in connecting with our students in a long-term relationship so we can help them grow and succeed. Everybody agree with that? Yes. Fellowship, fitness, freedom, family, and faith. The 5 F's. Zack is really big on this, and he's going to talk about it a lot. And so you know where it's coming from. These are 5 core beliefs that he has and truly believes in, all right? Who is Zack Childress? He owns 12 companies. He's owned more. Sometimes you build a company and somebody offers to buy it from you. Why wouldn't you sell it? Just kind of depends on what you're here to do, right? Full-time investor for over 15 years. He's been doing it, part-time and for fun. He really got serious in it. And when you find out, he just had his 40th birthday. He's been doing this a long time at a highly successful level, okay? He holds real estate investments from coast to coast, okay? He's an international consultant in real estate startups, systems and processes, marketing, outsourcing, and risk management. I told you he's got clients in Australia and all around the globe. He coaches people, mentors them everywhere. He was a millionaire by the age of 27. If you did the math, he started when he was 25, 2 years later, a millionaire. Who's sitting in this room, if you're not already there, would like to be able to say you're a millionaire 2 years from today? You want to do that? Are you willing to work that hard? Did I say it was easy? Did I say it was simple? It might be simple if you follow a system, but simple and easy, while frequently used interchangeably, mean two very distinctly different things. Agree with me? Something can be simple and not easy. Can you think of an example? Riding a bike is simple. Tying a bow tie. Can you do that? You got one? All right, so I'll wear one tomorrow. I'll show you. And if you don't think it's real, just come yank on it and you'll watch it come apart. But yeah, tying a bow tie looks simple. Actually, it doesn't even look simple. What are we talking about? It is actually easy. It's not simple, it's easy. It is pretty easy to do once you learn how. Riding a bike is simple once you figure it out, but riding at 1,000 miles uphill isn't easy, right? Simple and easy are two different things. So we're going to simplify this business for you, but I can't really make it easy for you. Understand that? But at least if it's simple, you're not afraid to get out and try it, right? Okay? And he's created systems that work. Now, who is Zack Childress? Can you guess what Zack's childhood was like? Shout it out. Who thinks they know what Zack's childhood was like? Guesses.
Nice home style.
Nice home style? Good? Poor? Poor? Anybody else? Challenging? Anybody?
He had a great mom.
Great mom? Single parents? Maybe? Anybody? Can't really guess, can you? Let's see if you'll be shocked or not. Zack grew up in a trailer park. Did you say trailer park? Yeah, I stood over here for about, 2 minutes, and I kept asking. Zack was a high school dropout. His teachers and coaches told him he would never make it. He had 46 jobs between the age of 16 and 25. Lived in his car for a couple of years. He has a reading disability, an ADHD. Okay? And his credit score is in the 500s. You don't have to raise your hand, but for people who have a credit score that isn't where they'd like it to be, you know inside. But you also need to know that that isn't what's holding you back. It really isn't. I've had a credit score in the 800s, and I've had one in the 400s. And I've been doing real estate for 20 years. It really doesn't matter what your credit score is. Now, if you're going to walk into Wells Fargo and ask them for a loan with a signature, are they going to give it to you with a 400 credit score? No. But if you walk in with $5,000 and say, can you give me a secured line of credit against this money? Will they give it to you? Wells Fargo probably still won't. They probably still won't, but it doesn't matter. If you got $5,000 and a 400 credit score, there's a lot more good I can do with that money than that credit score anyway. All right? So we aren't going to worry about a credit score. That will come, and there is a day when having a great credit score can really pay off. But it is not an excuse for you to not be successful in this business. Got me? Credit score doesn't matter. And if you're using that as an excuse to not go do real estate, then that's all it is. It's just an excuse. Fair enough? So get that credit score out of your head. It doesn't matter. Why How did Zack go from growing up in a trailer park and living in his car and a 500 credit score to being the man that you saw on that prior slide? A millionaire by the age of 27. Knowledge, passion, training, smart. Right? Dropping out of high school, does that mean he was dumb? Not necessarily, right? There's a lot of brilliant people didn't do well in high school. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. Sometimes somebody is so smart that the structure and rigor of elementary education just isn't challenging enough. And those kids can get into trouble. And they do. Zack, in his troubled days, had a godfather. His godfather was riding around with Zack in a golf cart one day on a golf course, sipping a cocktail, playing golf, and Zack was riding around with him. And his godfather told him, Zack, you're already a millionaire. He said, what are you talking about? I'm living in a car. I didn't even finish high school. His godfather said, you're not listening to me. You're already a millionaire, son. You're smart. He says, but I don't have any money. He says, you're not listening to me. You got the money. All those people out there in the world have it. It's yours. You just need to figure out how to get it from them and put it back in your pocket. Is that a different way to look at things? So by that definition, y'all in here are millionaires, right? There's enough millions to go around that we can all go out and find the people around us and get money from them and put it in our pockets. So that should work for you too, right? His godfather helped him see things a little differently. Not too long after that, he was at a yard sale and he saw a Tony Robbins cassette tape set. Anybody know who Tony Robbins is? Right? The big guy with big hands, right? I mean, Tony is 6'7". He's a big presence anyway. And he came out with some, motivational series. And Tony teaches self-help and that type of stuff. So Zack sees this Tony Robbins, I think the Unlimited Power, I think it was, cassette series, and $5. And he bought it. And while he's living in his car, he's playing Tony Robbins cassette tapes in his car stereo, right? And he's listening to Tony, and he's like, man, I can do this. I can do this. Was Tony teaching him how to be a millionaire? No. Tony was just making him believe in himself, that if he'd get out of his own way and believe in himself, that he could be what he wanted to be, whatever that is. And it's true. Zack's friends would get in the car with him. He'd start it up, the radio would pop on, and Tony Robbins would be saying, do it, do it, do it. And his friends would go, what are you doing? And he would laugh, and he'd turn it off, and they'd say, why do you listen to that crap? You're just like us. You're not going to be anything. He knew better by that young age. He just knew, these are my friends. They'll never understand. He ignored them then, and he continues to this day to ignore them. Even now, they're coming saying, hey, Zack, can you loan me some money? Right? Zack knew even then how to filter the noise and to keep the naysayers at bay. And you need to do the same thing, because I don't know what it is about human nature, but when you start to be successful or even tell somebody that you want to be, they start pulling you down. Don't listen to it, or you're going to be in the same spot as you are today. All right? Don't listen to them. Mindset is the number one thing. Zack had a burning desire to succeed. He was never willing to give up. Okay? He invested in himself. Just like you are this weekend. You're investing in yourselves to be here. He never settled. He sought out the best people. He surrounded himself with winners, with positive, successful people. At every chance, he made friends, he networked, he sought out the advice of people smarter than him. Okay? He never looked back, and he wrote down his goals. Who in here has written goals? Good for you. And if you don't, You can change that in about 5 minutes. You know, writing down your first goal is just as important as writing down your last one, but it's got to start somewhere. So start thinking about that. What do you really want to achieve in life? From the simplest things to the greatest things, and it's okay to dream. They're your goals. Right? They're your goals. If you want to show it to somebody, great. If not, don't. But for somebody to tell you that your dream is stupid, no, they're stupid. They should never tell you your dream is stupid. But don't share it with somebody if you're afraid they're going to say that, because that hurts. So don't do it, okay? And Zack only had plan A. He burned his boats. There was no going home. He didn't have a home to go to. He only had one path. And because he didn't have a safety net, because he didn't have a bailout plan, he stayed on his plan A. And if you guys have a bailout plan, how easy is it when it gets hard? Because we already told you this isn't going to be easy. I'll simplify it for you, but it isn't always going to be easy. Are you prepared to get out of bed early in the morning when you really don't feel like it? Yeah? I got a great story for you. I'm going to go ahead and tell it. So I'm an active investor. I'm got business partners. I like to set up my business. While wholesaling, you may agree, isn't necessarily passive income, when you create a business where you're wholesaling 4 to 5 properties a month, it gets to a point where you can pretty much rely on that income, right? It's coming in every single month because we have systems and a plan and a business in place that's generating leads. We've always got contracts in escrow. We're always closing deals. So therefore, I've always got income coming in. That's one of my income streams. But we had a house that we needed to close on. Typically, I wholesale it. I never even need to come in with even earnest money most of the time. But this particular contract couldn't be assigned. We couldn't assign it. So we had to close on it. Anybody heard of an A to B transaction, a transactional closing, where you borrow money from somebody for about 24, 48 hours, pay them a small fee, and they basically fund the first leg of the transaction because you can't use the other buyer's money? Not to get too confusing anyway, we didn't have the money to close. This particular deal, we had $5,000 in earnest money, non-refundable. It was already released to the seller. We weren't getting it back. And we had to close by noon that day. We still didn't have the money lined up. One of my partners was at the Henry, which is a restaurant in Phoenix, having breakfast. Typical thing he does almost every morning, picks a nice restaurant and has breakfast. And he was sitting up at not a table, because you're not approachable at a table. So he was at one of the seating areas where there was people around, and he was chit-chatting with the bartender. What do you do? I'm a real estate investor. Oh, that's nice. And I do this and I do that. And, yeah, I got a deal. It's supposed to close this afternoon. Guy turns to him and says, you got a deal you need to close this afternoon? He goes, yeah. He says, we've already got a buyer lined up for it, but we got to close on it today. The guy goes, I'm a hard money lender. What do you need? He said, $275,000. He says, when do you need it by? He said, noon. He goes, all right. That deal was a single-family home wholesale transaction we netted. I said wholesale, $50,000. And we didn't even have the money lined up till 3 hours prior to our scheduled closing date. We only had plan A. We weren't going backwards. We were always out there networking, looking, seeking, and we had belief in ourselves that the money would be there. Bless you. That the money would be there. Because when a deal's that good, it will be. And if it didn't fund, ouch, it hurts. We were out the $5,000, but I'll risk $5,000 to make 50 all day long. It's what I do. And I can't tell you the last time I lost $5,000. It doesn't typically happen. I'm not usually putting $5,000 up non-refundable unless I know I've got a buyer for the deal. I had a buyer. We just got into a contract deal where I had to close on it. So our lender who was going to close on it couldn't fund it that quickly. That's what put us in a bind. Believe me, folks, I have my ducks in a row. And then the lender goes, oops, we can't fund it by noon. So, Ron at breakfast at the Henry funded it for our company. We had him paid back 3 days later. He made $5,000. He lent us $275. for 3 days to make $5,000. Good deal for him? Good deal for us? I'd rather make 45 than lose 5, right? Yeah. You do what you have to do, but you always have plan A. There is no other plan. Agreed? You've got to stop looking back and stop relying on what got you here, because what got you here, the reason you're here is because you're not where you want to be. So get off that path anyway. Okay? Mindset. Is that important? Yeah, because without that, you really don't have much else. If you're not telling yourself every day, I want to improve my situation, then who is? And if it's somebody else telling you need to do it, you're probably wanting to tell them to shut up. So you got to be telling yourself, all right? Who believes you need talent to succeed? Anybody? Let me see your hands. Who believes you need talent to be successful? Yeah, I've got what kind of talent, right? Okay, well, guess what? There are 10 things that require 0 talent. You want to know what they are? Because whether you're talented or not, these 10 things will help you in your business, and you could have 0 talent. Just like some of those people on America's Got Talent. They got no talent, but somehow they're on the show. So we can laugh at them, right? So, number 1, mindset and attitude. The number 1 thing. Do you need talent to have a good mindset, to have a good attitude? No, none whatsoever. And for any of us who have kids, when you got a 4-year-old with a good attitude, we know they don't have any talent. We're just thankful they got a good attitude this morning, right? Number 2, work ethic. Do you need to be talented to work hard when you're working? Not at all. Passion. We had somebody over here say passion earlier today. Passion's very important. Be passionate in all things that you do. It doesn't require any talent whatsoever. Being coachable. Being open to suggestion and advice. Accepting the fact that you need help. Requires no talent whatsoever. And effort. Effort. Don't need talent. There are 5 other things on this list that didn't make it to my PowerPoint, so I will give those to you on Sunday. So you better be here on Sunday, okay? You want to know what the other 5 are? Keep that, dog ear that page in your book right there. We're going to get back to that on Sunday, and I will finish up. Is that a cliffhanger? It worked out. I like it. Oh, we did that already. Yeah, they're not there. Okay. I like the cliffhanger. Future. Oh, versus fortune. So below future is the word fortune. Picture it. Close your eyes. Picture fortune. Future versus fortune. Future is events that will happen after the present time. And fortune is a great amount of money or possessions. Future versus fortune. Oh, see, this okay. So what happens is we're going to get rid of the obvious and the things that are common in these 2 words and focus on what's uncommon. Okay? What is that? So who would have thought that the difference between future and fortune was UNO? Okay? So, right, numero uno. The difference between future and fortune is you. Okay? Okay. So for anybody else who has a cell phone with them, maybe you want to put it on mute or turn it off. Or if you take a phone call, you can just step out of the room because maybe it's Friday and you're playing hooky and it's your boss calling. Which is okay. Okay. Anybody in here playing hooky today? Anybody tell their boss they had a dentist appointment? All right, it's okay. It's all right. I'd rather be here too. I would rather be here too. Your active participation matters. Not only this weekend, in life. It's your life. If you don't participate, what's going to happen to it? Nothing. It's just going to keep on going by. Boring. You're going to sit in your chair someday and go, where did it all go? Too bad I never got off my butt and participated. So I'm coaching a guy right now who's a little challenging to coach. And he basically wants me to do everything, including telling what keystrokes to enter in when he's trying to do some research on Zillow. Well, if I'm telling him every single keystroke, what's he doing when I'm not in his ear telling him what to do? Not much. It's really, really difficult. And I said, I'm going to coach you right now, and I'm going to play basketball coach, and you're a kid on my team who's telling me that you want to be the number one scorer on the team. But you won't even get off the bench and get in the game. If you won't even shoot the ball, how are you going to be the lead scorer? The solution is simple, but it isn't necessarily easy for this guy to actually get out on the court. He's scared. Do one thing every day that scares you. Because if you do this, at some point, there will be nothing left you're afraid of. Because I guarantee you, if you're afraid to do something and you do it one time, is it scary the second time you do it? Well, unless the first time it hurt. Right? Who gives blood on a regular basis? Who's a blood donor? I guarantee you the first time they stuck that needle in my arm and I watched all that blood come out of me, I was like, whoa. My hand was tingling. But since then, I give blood all the time. It was just a little freaky that first time. Now, I've never jumped out of an airplane. Anybody parachute? Anybody? Wow. How was that first time? The only good time was the first time? No? First time. Right? Imagine jumping out of a perfectly good airplane with a thing on your back that if it opens and does what it's supposed to do, you might land at about 30 miles an hour. And without the proper training and you know how to land right, you might break or twist something. And if you're in the army or something, hey, maybe a couple of months in the infirmary ain't so bad. But anyway, think of anything you've ever done and you were afraid to death to do it. And after you did it, you went, that wasn't so bad. And now you do it all the time. Think of it. It's amazing. Do something every day that scares you. And it could be as simple as picking up the phone and calling an ad on Craigslist from somebody who says, I got a house for sale. No down payment, and I'll carry the mortgage. Just take over the payments. Sound pretty easy, right? Pretty simple too. And most of you won't even call that number. Most of you will not even call. Either you think it's a scam or there's some reason you're afraid. But after you do it the first time, is it going to be so hard the second time? And think about it. What might they say? What could they possibly say on the other end of the phone? You know, this isn't Hollywood. It's not some scary movie where all of a sudden they're going to suck your soul through the phone and keep it forever. It's all right. It's a phone call. And it's okay to make mistakes. Are you going to make mistakes the first time? Who got on a bike and rode it first time, no problems, no training wheels? I can't tell you how many times I fell. And I had to learn to ride a bike on a gravel road. That hurt. That hurt. But for some reason, I wanted to ride that bike. And I kept riding it until I was good at it. Who needs help? Well, don't talk for everybody else. If you need help, raise your hand. If you need help. And where do you go to get it? At least this weekend, right back there. It's easy. Now, for a few of you, maybe you got my number on speed dial on your phone. And after this weekend, then what do you do? Is that valuable to you? How valuable would it be to have me on speed dial? You know what's better than having me on speed dial? Zack Childress on speed dial. In fact, call me, I'll give you his number. All right. Everybody, let's 5X your life, okay? Goals are important. I said it a few minutes ago. But if you haven't already done it, take just a minute and write down 5 things. Just 5. This is really simple goal setting strategy. 5 things that you want to increase by 5 times in your life over the next 12 months. Take your time, but you've only got a minute. Just kidding, just kidding. Take your time, think about it a little bit. Write down 5 things. All right, don't be looking on your neighbor's paper. Their things aren't your things. I'm just kidding. Can't give unrealistic things like you wish there were 26 hours in a day. Can't do that, no. 2 more hours isn't really enough help anyway. An 8th day of the week, I like that, but you can't, that doesn't count. Don't put that down. It's not a race, but you need to wrap it up here. It's all right, kid. Anybody done? Yes. Good. Anybody almost done? Okay, anybody want to share? Anybody want to share? My plane jumper. Let me come over here so I can repeat them for you. What do you got?
My money.
My money. My money. My man is honest. His money right on number 1. I like that. All right, your money. What else?
I want to purchase me a house.
You want to purchase a house. How about 5?
5.
How about 5 houses? All right, what else?
I want to be more loving to my wife.
More loving to your wife. Is she here today? Oh, thank goodness. That's a good one. Was her sitting there next to you, your impact on you putting that?
Yes, it has.
You don't have to answer that question. Uh-huh. More loving to your family. 5 times more loving. Can you handle that? 5 times more loving. And she can handle it, folks. Nice. What else?
I need a bigger and better car 5 times.
A 5 times bigger and better car. I love it. What's your name? Luther Riley. Give Luther an applause, everybody. Luther, give yourself 500 points for that, please. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else want to share? We got a share over here. Look at these. We got something in common with people who jump out of perfectly good airplanes. Yes, Ronald.
First one is my income.
His income, yay. Give him applause. We got income. We like it. Let's put it out there, right?
Want to work on my health.
Health, that's a good one.
I love my family and friends. So
Love 5 more times. 5 times more. I love it.
Work on my retirement.
Yeah.
And then freedom from working for the other guy.
There you go. Get rid of the J-O-B. Just over broke. Thank you very much, Ronald. Give yourself 500 points, please. Everybody else finish? Got your 5 things down? Just for doing that exercise, give yourselves 100 points. We'll get you everybody on the board now. Everybody has points. If you already got 500 for yours, you don't get another 100. That's for everybody else. That's for everybody else. You got 500 now. Okay? Thank you so much for sharing. And when you get an opportunity, you might want to share some of those with your coach, who, by the way, would like to meet, if given the opportunity, one-on-one with one of us coaches this weekend while you're here to put together a quick strategy plan for you. Would you like that? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to talk with Zack, see if we can arrange it, get each of you the opportunity to sit with somebody, even for 15 minutes, just to see what we can figure out. Maybe share your goals and let us help you put a plan together for your success strategy. You want that? Yes. Do you want it? Yes. Nice. So when you see Zack, ask him for a strategy session. Tell him, we want to meet with our coaches. All right? Naps. It is not nap time. It's an acronym. You may have seen that on the front page of one of your handouts. You don't have the words following those letters. So after K, we're going to put down knowledge. Yes, knowledge starts with a K. I know you all know that. That's for Zack's benefit. Okay? N for network. A for action. Is that important? Yes. If you don't get off the bench, you'll never get in the game. In my instance, if I don't get out of bed, my wife will not give me my coffee. I smell it, and it's just never getting any closer. I got to get out and go get it. And by the way, Arizona is mountain time, but 8 months out of the year, we're Pacific time. So by the way, it is only 7 a.m. for me. I've already been up 4 hours today. Just saying. No sympathy? We do what we have to do. I'm motivated to teach you guys. I've been getting up at 3:30 a.m. since Monday just to prepare myself so I could be wide awake and excited to teach you starting today. Oh, what I'll do for applause. P for process. And S for systems. Everybody got that? If I change this slide, are you going to tell me to go back? Who believes timing is important? Some people might say it's everything, but that's a bit much. It is very important, though. You'll hear some people say that it's not timing the market that's important, it's time in the market. Those are stockbrokers who say that. Right? At least mine. Don't worry, Andrew, just because you bought those stocks and they, dropped by half in value, don't worry about it. You're going to own those shares for the rest of your life. And they might come back. Like, okay. Create a saying that matches your unwitting strategy. There you go. The market, this market, right now, 2017, it is time. We've been waiting for markets like this. Folks, look at this. We all remember in 2006 what was going on. The market was so hot, you touched a property, you burn yourself. Hot. Who got in then? Who wishes they did? Who wishes they did? And then got out by 2008. Again, depending on the strategy. Now, in 2006, I bought 3 properties to hold. In 2008, they'd all dropped by half in value, but it didn't matter because I wasn't selling them. The income they produced was the same. The strategy, the reason I bought them was for the income they created. Had nothing to do with the value. In fact, while I owned that apartment complex, that particular one, over a 14-year period, it went up to $670,000, down to $180,000, back to $400,000, down to $220,000, and then up to $300,000. It didn't matter what its price was unless I was considering selling it. I don't know about you, but who's in a hurry to sell a stream of cash flow? That sucker was on autopilot. Other than replacing a water heater once in a while, the occasional refrigerator, keeping the air conditioners running, it's Arizona, I was good. That cash flow was steady. And I can tell you when the market crashed in 2008, thank goodness I had a rental portfolio. Thank goodness. Because that's $6,000 a month of income that I was making, even though I was upside down by 50% in all of my assets, at least I had income coming in. Thank goodness. So strategies are important. And we're right here, folks. Look at this graph. We've hit the bottom. We've hit the bottom. We're already recovered, and we're at that point where millionaires are made at this time. We are right there. You are in the best spot you can be. And that's this room listening to Zack Childress this weekend. It doesn't get any better than this right now. You couldn't be in a better spot. I don't know about you. I got chills. I mean, guys, you couldn't be in a better spot. You're not going to miss the market this time, right? You're not going to miss it. You're going to get it. Existing home sales hit highest numbers since recession, April 21st of 2017. New home sales roar to a 7-month high. 592,000 is an annual rate for February. All the signs are pointing. And this in the Wall Street Journal today. Generation of renters now buying. For the first time, buyers are rushing to buy homes after a decade on the sidelines. Whether they're first-time home buyers or people who've owned but lost their homes and got those horrible credit scores and have been renting for the last 10 years. That's personally, I don't know how smart the Wall Street Journal is. Yeah, there's a lot of first-time home buyers and a new generation of buying, but I'm sorry, if you're 50 years old and you've been renting for the last 5 or 10 years because you had a foreclosure and you couldn't own a home, and you're back in the market to buy again, because I'm sorry, once you've owned a home, there's nothing like owning a home. Renting after you've owned is really hard to do. And so that's in you that you want to own. And there's a lot of people out there who lost their homes. And I think they might have been soured for a long, long time or just said, forget it, I can't. But time heals all. It heals our credit scores, it heals our feelings, it heals our pocketbooks, and it heals our economy. That wasn't the pointer. It heals our economy, and we're back. And whether they're first-time home buyers, or by definition, if you haven't owned for 3 years, according to FHA, you're a first-time home buyer again, doesn't matter. There's a whole lot of people buying houses again, and that is the perfect time for us to be in this room learning this business right now today. All right? It's all over the news. And by the time the news is talking about it, those of us who know what's going on have already been doing it for the last 2-3 years. Who believes now is a good time to be investing in real estate? You'll say, did I do a pretty good job letting you know that now is a good time? Good. Okay. In the current market conditions, can you just decide to be a real estate investor and succeed? Let me tell you a story. Back in 2006, I was flying to Denver. That's 10 years ago. And there was a couple of flight attendants in the back talking about how they needed to land because they were closing on a couple of houses and they needed to get in and get over the title company to get the paperwork signed. I don't know if you know this, flight attendants don't make a lot of money, and that's not a knock against flight attendants. They just don't. They get perks. I mean, they get to fly for free, they get to travel. People who are flight attendants are kind of like teachers. They do it because they love it. Unfortunately, the income isn't so great, and personally, I think teachers, firefighters, police officers, and our military should be paid what our president earns personally. But unfortunately, they don't. So it takes people who love what they do, and they have a courageous nature, and they want to participate, and they do. But these flight attendants were talking about the houses that they were buying, and their coworker was like, well, how are you doing that? You don't have income to support that. Oh, it's my loan officer just said, write down any income. Or they told me the amount I needed to put down to qualify. These liar loans. Stated income. Now I can tell you, I've been in the real estate and the mortgage business for 20 plus years. A stated income loan was originally designed for a self-employed individual. Since when does a school teacher, a firefighter, a postal worker who gets a paycheck every day and a W-2 at the end of the year need a stated income loan? They have verifiable income. Guess what? And it's not enough to qualify for purchasing a couple of houses. They also didn't need down payments. So thank goodness for the Clintons. Their policy was every American should own a home. I don't care what it takes. So the banks followed suit. Okay. No down payments. Credit score doesn't matter. Income doesn't matter. Everybody can own a home, and we'll just pool those loans up and sell them off on Wall Street. We all know what happened, don't we? Yeah, didn't work out so well. That's what happened when everybody was jumping into the business 10 years ago. If I just buy a house, my loan officer can get me the loan, and my real estate agent said, just hold them for 6 months, and then we'll just sell them, and you'll make $50,000 each. Sounds good, unless the market tanks before your 6 months is up. And guess what? You never quite know when you're at the peak, do you? Yeah, well, that's how many millions of people got hurt holding the bag. How many people stayed in their houses but took the equity out with a second mortgage and took that money to go buy some houses or cars or vacations. And then the value dropped. Our real estate crisis wasn't that bad, except people panicked and started bailing out of their house. What I didn't understand is for somebody who had a $200,000 loan and an $800 a month payment, because their home dropped to $100,000 in value, they walked away from it and then paid rent somewhere at $800 a month. Did that make any sense? You got to live somewhere. So why leave? So don't freak out because what happened last time in the market, it happened, but it was unprecedented. Nobody had ever seen that before. We didn't know why. We now know why. And as far as I'm concerned, don't panic. You got to live somewhere. So if the payment where you're living equals the payment you got to make to live somewhere else, its value doesn't matter unless you're trying to sell it. But people were just walking away. So, yeah, and well, if you lost your job and you couldn't make your payment, it doesn't matter. Now you're moving in with your parents or a friend or something. So, different, everybody has a different situation. But my point is, you can't just decide because the market conditions are perfect that you can just jump into this business and be successful at it. Okay? That's what's going to be different this time. You have to have a proven system to make it as a successful real estate investor so that you can invest and be successful whether the market's going up or the market's going down. You employ the right strategy, it doesn't matter where the market is. And we're going to know what the market's about to do before it does it because we've been there. We've been there now. We've seen what happens, and we got to be careful. Except the fundamentals this time are solid. Banks are still requiring you to prove your income. Banks are requiring a down payment. Banks are not allowing gifted down payments. Bank underwriters are still afraid to approve a loan because now banks, by the way, if they approve a loan and that loan defaults in a short, in a 12 to 24 month period of time, that bank is required to purchase that loan back. They have to actually give up the funds, purchase the loan back, and service it themselves. Banks don't have enough reserves to do that very many times before they're out of business. So none of that craziness is going on right now. So when we see our market hitting where it's hitting, it's not due to unsound strategies. It's not due to an unsound monetary policy other than our interest rates are low. And let's take advantage of that. Nothing wrong with low interest rates. By the way, as interest rates start to tick up, that's going to affect our buying power. And so our home market will start to slow down, but the fundamentals are still strong. Nothing wrong with that. So the only thing we can watch over the next 12 to 24 months is our interest rates. As they start to tick up a little bit, things will start to slow down a little bit. But when you buy a house at 50 cents on the dollar, can you sell it for 60 cents on the dollar and still make some money real fast? Hey, 60 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on the dollar, right? There's always a buyer for that. Who wants to be a millionaire? Not very many of you. Who wants to be a millionaire? That's most of you. For those of you who don't want to be a millionaire, can I have yours? A billionaire. Nothing wrong with that. It's out there. You're already a billionaire. You just got to go get it. That's right. What's the number one difference between millionaires and those who want to be a millionaire? Who said action? Just raise your hand if you said it out loud. 500 points. There you go. There you go. All millionaires take action when? If you said it, 500 points. See what participation gets you? At least. At least. How do you eat an elephant? Y'all know the answer to that one. No, you all knew the answer. All right, 50 points. 50 points for the elephant. See, if you don't ask. That's right. And if we tell you to go to the back table because you need help, where are you going to go? You guys are good. You got it down. You got this down. What are some qualities of a successful business owner? Integrity. I like that. Persistence, for sure. Determination. Effort. Commitment. Believing in yourself. Yeah. That's some systems. I'm not hearing a very, very important term. All those things are true, but there's one thing. Do you ever hear about the business that never advertised until they were going out of business and they had a big old sign up that said going out of business? They left that sign up for 5 years. Right? Marketing. Marketing and advertising. If you don't, you could have the best business in the world. If you don't have customers, you could have all the ethic, work ethic, integrity, coaching. Of course, your coach will be telling you to get marketing. A successful business owner has mindset to be entrepreneurial. They're personal development addicts. They are consistently educating. There's two kinds of business. There's the business you're in and the business you're going to become. Because once you get your business going, if you stop there, you're done. Your days are numbered. You must constantly be innovating your business, or at least keeping up with. Because 10 years ago, I could run an ad in the Phoenix newspaper for hard money lenders. And people would call me and say they want to lend me money. Does that work today? No. No, the newspaper doesn't work. And if that was still my strategy, how much money would I be raising? Never, no. No, my last customer I got off the newspaper ad died 6 months ago. Now, his family's still working with me, but I mean, that guy's not reading the paper anymore, right? It's a dinosaur. Now, newspapers does still work for some things, but our media's got a bad rap right now, and sorry, the classifieds are part of that, so. The power of leverage. What does that mean? Money, OPM, system, leverage. Leverage means exactly that. You are using a tool to leverage your abilities. So whether you're getting things done through other people, money, borrowing money, knowledge, whatever it is, learn how to leverage yourself and your business. It's very, very important. Systematic thinking. If every single day you do the same thing over and over and over again, and it takes you 32, you've got it down to a science, 32 minutes. I can have that report done in 32 minutes. At what point are your 32 minutes more important than having somebody else do that report for you, even if it takes them an hour? Right? You've got it down. You've been doing it every day. You know exactly what it takes and how long it takes you. Get somebody else to do it for you. Especially, and I do these things. They suck my will to live. I do these menial tasks over and over and over again. And I'm like, oh, why am I still doing this? Oh yeah, because my 17-year-old won't. I gave him that task years ago. He's still not doing it. I should have fired him. Right? So again, learn how to manage people. Consistently networking. Can we ever have enough influential people around us? No. Constantly networking. More people, more people, more people. I have 800 names on my buyer's list. 800 names. And I sell my properties to the same 7 people every time. Why do I have 800 names? Because I'm trying to get to 1,000. And then I want to get to 2,000. Because there will be a day when those 7 people don't want that property. It happens. But guess what? The other people on the list, they get the properties just like my main people. And they call me up 3 days later. Hey, I think that looks like a pretty good deal. Can I go see it? Like, it's already gone. At some point, they're going to learn that I don't put deals out there that are junk. My deals work. If you want a deal, you need to jump and jump fast. I'll give you time to go see it. But the first guy with a contract and an earnest money check gets the deal. And if that person doesn't close on time, they don't get any more. There's things that you'll learn. But constantly networking. Understand the power of a coach or a mentor. I think Zack has 2 or 3 coaches right now. I've got a couple. We always do. Best golfer in the world probably has 2 or 3 coaches. You know, Tiger Woods isn't the best example anymore. But he had a head coach, a swing coach, a game coach. His caddy's a coach. They're all coaching. Why are the people who are at the best of the best in their game need coaches? To stay the best. Is this a hobby or is this a business for them? And their business is to be the best. And they're serious and they're committed and they have mindset. They want to be the best. And you have business. There's 2 kinds, right? The business you're in and the business you need to become. Because if you stay stagnant, somebody's going to be better than you. So how do you stay number 1? Yeah. Why did Tiger Woods change his swing coach 5 years into it after winning the Masters? Yeah, he knew that he needed to change his swing so that he could compete with some of the younger golfers coming up. Just an example. Guys, I don't care where you are. Don't look at a coach or a mentor as like you have a handicap or something. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was riding down the road the other day. You know how the bicyclists, they put on those skin-tight, very colorful unitards? And they're pedaling their bikes down the road. I mean, that's bravery right there, because that bicycle, I don't care if you're driving one of those little smart cars, it'll take you out in a heartbeat. I almost wrecked my car driving past this bicyclist the other day. Not because I swerved into him or he swerved into me, because he had one leg. A competitive bicyclist with one leg. I guarantee you when he gets up in the morning, getting out of bed is a lot harder than you're getting out of bed on your worst day. And he does it every day. That one thing just gave me inspiration for about a week. And I'm still talking about it. I don't care how bad your day is. I'll take that day over what he's got. And he's made something of it. So excuses for me, I'm done with them. I'm done with my own. I don't listen to my kids' excuses. And if I'm coaching you, sorry, I'm not listening to your excuses either. And maybe that's what you need. You don't need someone telling you, it's okay. Let's do it tomorrow. Now, obviously, real life is real life and situations happen. I get that. But when your excuses become regular and consistent, it's a pattern, it's a problem, and a good coach will help you break you of it. Right? That's what we're here to do. You got to always be looking to grow your business. You know, maybe your goal is to make $1 million a year. Once you hit that $1 million, do you think you can just keep doing that and you'll make that $1 million for every year for the rest of? No. Market changes, people change, things change, interest rates change. You've got to stay changing. Just because you made the $1 million, you don't have to make a goal to now make 2, but to just continue to make in the $1 million is going to require you to keep changing your business. Believe that. That's the truth. What will it take? Commit to your success now. Right now, everybody, raise your hand if you're going to commit to your success right now this weekend to learn what you can learn to be successful. This is the last event like this you're ever going to attend. Unless it's by Zack or myself, because we're teaching you some more. Right? Or, it's somebody to help you, coach you with how to be a better cook or a better husband or a better father. I'm talking about me. There's always ways to improve ourselves, and when you're a better you, everything else you do is better. Commitment. Stay focused on your goals. You wrote them down. You're going to fold them up, put them in this book, put it away, and never look at it again? What can you do when you truly commit and identify your goals so that you achieve them? You got to put them somewhere so you see them every day. On your bathroom mirror, in the rearview mirror in your car. Some people spend a lot of time in their car. Put it somewhere where you see it. Someday you might look at it and go, those goals aren't relevant anymore. Why? Because you've already achieved them? Hope so, but that's usually not the case. What usually happens is you've decided they're not achievable and you quit. You quit, not your goals. Make your goals achievable. Nothing wrong with dreaming, but maybe you got to start out with something a little simpler. But once you achieve it, it becomes contagious. It becomes a fire inside of you. When you start crossing goals off your list because you've achieved them, are you done or do you add more goals? Absolutely. Having goals is a great thing. That's why I get out of bed every day. Education. You got to have time to learn the business. Mentoring. A mentor's going to help you get your business started. Is the mentor the right person to get you going every day? Now, the mentor is the one that's going to give you the systems, the tools, the shortcuts. They've been there, they've done it. They've started a dozen or 24 businesses. They know what you need to get your business up and running, and the power team to help you do all the work. Because if you've got to do it all, it probably isn't any of it going to get done. I like marketing. I know the importance of marketing, but some of the technology has passed me. That social media stuff and the Twitter and everything, I know of it, but I don't have those accounts. But is it important? Actually, it is. So either I have to learn it or I need to pay somebody to do it for me. What did I do? That's what I did. Half of my business comes from social media. Now that the money is coming in and I'm doing it, I'll reverse engineer it. I'll then take the time to go in and learn it. But I didn't want to pass up on the opportunity while I was learning it. So I hired somebody to do it for me. $300 a month was cheap. One wholesale deal for me pays for him for the next 10 years. So, it's relevant. Okay? Systems and tools. Does McDonald's have the best hamburger on the planet? Are they a successful franchise? Yes. Systems and tools. You can go to a McDonald's in Las Vegas, Nevada, or Miami, Florida, and get the same burger pretty much at the same price with the same packaging and the same taste in the same amount of time. Consistency. They have a repeatable, duplicatable system. And each franchise owner pretty much knows how much they make to the penny on everything they sell. Coaching. Here's how you grow your business. A coach is the person that keeps you going once you're up and running. Make sense? Those two come together now? Know your ROI. What's ROI? Raise your hand if you said return on investment, because I heard it. Give yourselves 500 points. Somebody was doing their homework. Everybody did their homework, right? You got your homework assignments before you showed up this weekend? No? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Zack is going to give you homework, though. So, the last event, we didn't tell people, they said people were asking if they needed to bring their laptops or computers. They're like, no, you don't. And have you needed your laptop here today? No. But if you didn't bring your laptop with you, when Zack gives you an assignment tonight, and you're all trying to use the lobby computer, a bit of a log jam, right? So if you brought your computer, that's great. You are going to need it for some homework. But you're right, you don't need to bring it here. So we wanted to clarify. Hopefully you all brought some kind of device that will help you access the internet. You can do some research. And a telephone, because you're probably making some phone calls. Anybody afraid to make phone calls? Talk to strangers? No? Not a single person. Come on, be honest. Raise your hand if you're afraid. Good. You're afraid. Good. Okay or not. Okay, what's your name? Don. Role play with me here, okay? You're going to call me. No, I'm going to call you. I'm going to pretend I'm you. I don't know what I'm doing. You ready?
Yep.
You got a Craigslist ad. Got this perfect house that I don't want to own, but I think I can wholesale and make some money. I'm going to call you. I'm you. This is my homework tonight. Hello? That was perfect. Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Hello? This is Don. Who am I speaking with?
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams, thank you very much. You've got a house on Craigslist, and I wonder if you could tell me something about it.
Sure. It's
Oh my God, I just got scared. I hung up the phone. How? You're not going to call me back, are you, Mr. Williams?
probably not.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. If you get scared, if you don't know what to say, just hang up the phone. Right? It's the adult version of, do you have Prince Edward in a can? I never understood that as a kid. That was tobacco or something. I didn't know. Is your refrigerator running? It's okay if you don't know what to say. Just hang up. Laugh at yourself. Do it again. Let's see, what question did they ask me and I stumbled on it? What's your name? Be careful, but that's okay. If you stumble, practice it. Okay, my name is Andrew Williams. Okay. All right, I got it this time. My phone number, I got it, and my email address. A script is very simple. If you are looking to buy a house that you yourself or your family wants to live in, is there not a series of questions that you might be curious to know about the house? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? Yeah, maybe. I got kids, they like to run around. Do I have a yard? I have animals. Is the yard fenced? Is there a pool? How old is the air conditioner? Or the appliances? Did the appliances come with it? Be curious. Be naturally curious. There's no wrong question. Once you get the seller talking, and most sellers, if they're real sellers, will tell you everything and more. I had a seller tell me everything I wanted to know about a house, and he kept talking. He started telling me about the termites, about the leaky roof. Normally, you're like, I can't ask that question. They won't tell me. I never said a word. This guy told me everything. And I said, so does your price include a new roof and the termite repair? He was like, well, I guess it could. I said, well, I might be interested in your house, but those things have to be repaired. It's either that or you got to discount your price and then I'll take care of it. He goes, well, I guess I could do that. How hard was that? Guys, these phone calls, just naturally be curious. Actually pretend like you want to buy the house yourself to live in it. And just ask some curiosity questions. Pretty soon, that will lead into actual pointed questions that I want you to ask because their answers are going to help us determine what kind of negotiation we can make on this house. Like, what kind of condition is it in? Why are you selling? Why do you need to move? And maybe we find some motivation. I got transferred. I started my job 3 months ago. I've got a house in my new town, and the 2 payments are killing me. I got to sell this place. Is there some motivation there? Yeah, it's simple questions. It's just stuff to ask. But if you've never done it before, you just need maybe you just need a script. You guys like a script? Would you guys like a script to help you call some of these people? I already gave you one. It's in your package. Know your return on investment. Who are you investing in? That's right. So if I'm going to ask you for money, or if McDonald's is going to ask you for $1 million, are are you just going to say, okay? Or do you want to know from what's my $1 million going to get me? If I said, give me $1 million, and if you follow my systems, use my tools, and do what I tell you to do, in the next 5 years, you'll have your $1 million back, and every year after that, you'll put $250,000 in your pocket. Are you interested? Yes. Yeah. That's a return on investment. We want to know what we're getting out of this transaction to see if it's worth our while. What's the cost of a college education? And this is from best colleges from U.S. News and World Report rankings. Number 1 is Princeton, and this is based on base value. So just because see how Brown is number 10 at $49,000? It's the most expensive school on this list, but it's not number 1. So cost doesn't necessarily is the same as value, but still pretty pricey, expensive. All the way here to North Carolina State, Raleigh, number 50 on this list, was almost $25,000 a year. What's your return on this investment? How many people go to college and then never get a job? Now, if somebody goes to Brown and then becomes a second grade school teacher, God love them. But it's going to take a long time before they've earned enough money to pay for that education. Right? Now, just taking North Carolina State. I'm going to use my shadow puppet. $25,000. What'd you invest in yourself? Who said that? Did you? 100,000. 2 of you. Give yourselves 1,000 points. Because that's not just $25,000. That's investing in one year. 1 year. And I'm sorry, going to North Carolina, going to Raleigh for a year gets you what? Hey, this doesn't work in Raleigh. Unfortunately, you probably just wasted your money if you're only going to go 1 year. Once you've invested that, you're kind of committed to go all the way through and getting a degree, right? Because I'll talk to people, yeah, I'm 7 units shy of actually getting my bachelor's degree. And they're my age. You can't put down that you have a degree on your resume. Now, granted, you got a year's worth of education, but it depends on what you do with it. But you're right, it's $100,000 of education. And depending on what your profession is, and depending on what that income is, and depending on how long you do it, what is your return on that investment? It's hard to gauge, isn't it? But what if your degree was real estate investor? And in the first 6 months, you made $100,000. What if? Was that education worth it? Yes. Was it worth every penny? Yes. Would you have paid more? Yes. Absolutely. Because if you can make a couple $100,000 a year on a $100,000 education, who wouldn't pay that right now? You wouldn't? You wouldn't?
Get it for less here.
You can? Yeah. What a deal. Where do I sign? Get to the back table. We could start a franchise, right? Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's, $326,000 to $555,000 for a Jimmy John's franchise. Okay? Sandwiches. Now, follow me. That's the money you got to pay Jimmy John's to be able to hang their sign. Does Jimmy John's pay the lease? No. Does Jimmy John's give you the equipment and the signage? No. What's Jimmy John's give you? System. National advertising. A known name. Are their sandwiches any good? Yeah, they're pretty good. And they're freaky fast. Guys, I was paying for a Jimmy John's sandwich, and when the guy was giving me change, they were handing me my sandwich. That's freaky fast. Serious. When I'm hungry, I don't even go to a buffet anymore because that's fast, right? You sit down and you go, why'd I sit down? You just get right back up and go get your food. Jimmy John's is faster. Okay. If you made $1 a sandwich, how many sandwiches would you have to sell to break even? That just paid for the franchise. How much is the lease? How much is the equipment? How much are your employees and your insurance and your business license and your sales taxes? How many sandwiches do you have to sell before you break even? Yeah. But see where I'm going with this? But it's a proven system. It works. Hampton Inn, running a hotel. Been there, done that. Supercuts. Subway, McDonald's is $1 million to $2 million. Dunkin' Donuts. Denny's. Restaurants, guys. Whew. Tough. Anytime Fitness, that's my gym. I've got a coach. His name's Lamar. That guy whipped me into shape in 90 days. I'm still hurting. I had shoulder surgery last year, and it was taking me a long time to get anything. I couldn't do anything. My hardest thing to do is to hang a shirt up. I can raise my arm, but you put any weight in it, it's very, very difficult. So I said I needed help. He's very good at physiology. He went and researched my condition. He talked to some physicians. What can I do with this guy? What do I need to be careful of? I didn't know he was doing that when I hired him. Am I glad that I hired a good one? Yeah. 3 months later, I'm doing 50 to 100 push-ups. I'm doing pull-ups. I'm lifting as much weight now as I did before the injury. Okay, that wasn't very much because I wasn't working out before I got hurt, but it made a difference. I couldn't do it myself. I tried. I went to the gym once and it hurt and I didn't go back. But I knew I needed something, so I hired the guy, and for me it was accountability. 6:30 a.m. twice a week. That's all it took for 3 months, and I'm back in my fighting. I'm in tip-top condition for as old as I am. It's pretty good. So, what? Thank you very much. Again, anything I can do for applause. Give me a round of applause. So you can start a franchise, but how many sandwiches do you got to sell? How many French fries? How many pickles? It's a lot. But they got a system. It can be profitable. But look at what you're investing. What's your return on investment if you do that? Is there a better way? We can show you a better way. How about real estate investing, right? And Kevin was right. We can show you a way to make a lot more money with a lot less invested and a lot faster. Who's interested in that? Yeah. I don't have 4 years or 5 years to wait and go to college anymore, and exams and term papers and, listening to liberal teachers spew all kinds of stuff about whatever. I want to go make money now. And for me, when I was a college student, I was 25 years old. I'd already been in the Navy, and I had already been out in the workforce and was making money, and I had debt. So I'm going to school, and I had bills to pay. I went to school, and I had to work, and I couldn't wait to get my degree so I could get back to work full time and put my degree to work. Because I had a taste of the business and realized that the education was holding me back from my potential, I found a way to get the education. And then Katie barred the door. Gloves were off. I was going. And I'll tell you that story on Sunday too, but what's the definition of insanity? Raise your hand if you said it. You were thinking, give yourself 50 points for being honest. I like that, Don. If you said it, give yourselves 250 points. And if you didn't say it, is it because you didn't know the saying? Raise your hand if you did not know that saying. Never heard that one before? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If a fly wants to go outside and he keeps flying into the window, I don't care how much perseverance he has, how much determination and how much commitment, is he ever going to get outside? but the window next to it was open. So, sometimes you got to change it up a little bit. The three main types of income streams that all businesses need: earned income. These are three types of income streams, and there's earned income, which is trading time for money. Anybody here work a job? Anybody here actually punch a clock? Kunk, kunk, chunk, chunk, punching a clock, right? That's where the saying came from. That is truly trading your time for money. And if you're not punching the clock, are you getting paid? No. So, in real estate, the strategies are wholesaling and rehabbing. That's like trading your time for money. Because once you wholesale that house or rehab that house and sell it and get paid, are you getting paid again? No. Not unless you go do that, make that effort again, correct? Time for money. The other one is passive residual income. That's doing something once and getting paid over and over again. This will move you towards retirement and your dreams, financial freedom, creative financing and buy and hold, buying rental properties and getting rental income, financing strategies, sandwich leases on houses, arbitrage, which is a fancy word for I borrow money from Kevin at 5% and I lend it to Jonas at 10%. Did I lend Jonas my money? Well, Kevin gave it to me. Well, he lent it to me. So Jonas pays me 10%, and I pay Kevin 5%, and I make 5%. Who likes that deal? That's a fun one. I like that one. Arbitrage. Sounds French to me. Portfolio income. Money making money. Anybody ever heard the phrase, the money's in the money? I know, I made it up. I'm glad you've heard it. I really like that saying. I liked it so much I claimed it. I don't know if I actually made it up or not. I'm sure other people said it. There's no little circle R or circle TM after it, so I didn't trademark it or anything. But private money lending. When you get to the spot, when you've amassed some cash, we can do the example I just did with Kevin. But what I like is lending money to rehabbers or doing transactional funding. So we do these deals, we lend our money and let our money make money for us. Who likes that strategy? Yeah. When your money's making you money, that's really cool. 3 types of income all businesses need. Startup capital. Where do you get it? No, I'm not giving you my money for you to start up your business. What do I need you for? I could do it. Where to get it? Credit cards? Who believes that? That's what it's for. It's a temporary line of credit. Unsecured, by the way. Credit cards aren't bad. Wholesaling deals, quick cash to go start up, operating capital. Where to get it? Lease options or buy and holds. Money coming in on a regular basis. Money to do marketing, money to do advertising, lead generation, those types of things. And growth capital. We need money to grow our business. When you hire employees, they need a place to sit or computers, unless you have VAs and people that are working from their homes. That's cool. Kind of hard to hire a VA when they want to come to your house and use your computer and your phone. That doesn't work very well. That's just an employee. I don't have any employees. Mine are all contractors. I will not have an employee. No one works for me. They work with me. And everybody who works with me is incentive-based compensation. When I do a deal, they get paid. They help me do deals, I do deals, they get paid. That's how they're compensated, that's how they know they're compensated, and that's why they choose to work with me, because I do deals. Guess what? They're learning while they're doing it too. So it's the best. And I hire people who want to learn the business. Kind of makes sense, right? Where to get it? Rehabbing and partnerships. So 3 phases to your business: business setup, your entity systems and tools, market research. Who wants to open up an ice and water store in Anchorage, Alaska? I'm sure they exist, right? But makes sense. Choose your business, choose the market you're in, and be careful. Now, Phoenix happens to be a super hot real estate market right now. Who wants to try and come to Phoenix right now and do business? Or would you rather be in a market that's a little slower, that's not quite so red hot? You like the red hot? A lot of competition. Tell you what, on Sunday, I will tell you what the right answer is, and I'll prove it to you. I'll show you exactly why you want to be in or out of a particular market when it's hot. Who wants to know the answer to that? Do you want to go after a hot market while it's already hot and full of competition, or do you want to go after a quiet market? Sunday, you'll get the answer. Marketing. Build your marketing plan and track everything. If you've got marketing going out, let's just say, newspaper, radio, television, and direct mail, and leads are coming in, let's say you're spending $1,000 per channel per month. Do you kind of want to know where your leads are coming from? What if every single lead is coming from radio and you're not getting a single lead from television, newspaper, or direct marketing, direct mail?
Throw more cash out.
Yeah, double your budget. You have to be careful because maybe the radio works because they're seeing you on television and they just got a piece of mail from you. But when you ask them, they were like, well, I just heard that radio commercial, but they meant to call you from the flyer that was on their kitchen table and they forgot to and they heard the radio. So just make sure you really source your marketing so that you know where to continue to spend your money, and if you need to increase or decrease a little bit, track where your leads are coming from so that you can really capitalize on that strategy, all right? Your 4-part lead process is to communicate. Get as much info up front. Don, when we're on the phone, if they ask you a question you don't know how to answer, what do? Let's hang up on them. Regroup. Figure out what the answer is, and then call them back. Or call somebody else. It's a big world out there. You can call phone numbers off of Craigslist anywhere in the country. Analyze your leads. But whatever you do, do not call Raleigh, North Carolina, because AC will shoot you. He's got to have target practice. Analyze your leads. Okay? Know what you can offer the seller. I've got a couple of examples too on Sunday that I'll give you, but you might think that you're going after a particular strategy, you're marketing, a lead comes in and it doesn't fit that strategy. If you're short-sighted, you hang up and say, I couldn't do anything with that one. With our training, you're going to know that that marketing campaign was designed to attract this kind of lead, but every now and then you get a straggler that another strategy works for, and you could have made money on a different strategy with that lead. Why not? Right? If you're looking for dollars on the ground and you're stepping over quarters to pick up the dollars, why wouldn't you pick up the quarters too? Right? Still money. Negotiate. Remember to give and take. Okay? Take as much as you can, but give some too. Just kidding. A negotiation works well when both parties feel like they're getting what they want or what they need. Convert. You got to convert your leads. If you're getting 100 leads a week and they haven't turned into any deals, you're not doing a very good job converting them, or they're not good leads. Because if you're trying to sell a bicycle and everybody's calling you up trying to buy a basketball hoop, you're not going to convert and sell many bicycles, right? And the investing strategy. Tier 1, you're going to learn is wholesaling. And there's not just one way. There's a lot of different ways to wholesale properties. Who thought there was just one way? Wholesaling's wholesaling. Good, you all knew. So they must have watched Zack's videos, right? His webinars, you all got some homework. There's a lot of different ways. And Zack's going to go over those with you this weekend too. Tier 2, creative financing and lease options. And tier 3, fix and flip. And tier 4, passive investing, buy and hold, cash flow properties, rental properties. Your power team, surrounding yourself with a power team. Do you want to do all the work? Why? Power team is so important, and I think you have a diagram in your handout. Your CPA, your title company, your banker. Bankers can be a great source for properties. I invest in any city in the United States, whether I know that city or not. And one of the first people I call when I'm trying to find out the city is I call whoever owns the RIA in that city, and I talk to them and tell them I'm out of state and I'm looking to invest there, and who can they connect me with? They're going to give me lists of contractors, rehabbers, hard money lenders, title companies, real estate agents. I can get a buyer's list from a RIA. And if they say, well, I only give that list out if you join. How much is it to join? It's $100 a year. Done. Is it worth $100 to get all of that information and build a power team in a city you've never even been in? Yes. Leverage yourself and information. A real estate lawyer in some states, the West doesn't typically need a lawyer. Your title company handles that. Appraiser. One of my business partners is a certified residential appraiser, and he's also got his Arizona real estate license. Is he a good guy for me to partner with? When I need an ARV, he can give it to me that fast. Typically, and I had to teach him the investing side of the business, he's completely changed his way of coming up with valuations after meeting me. Because we look at things a little differently, and he is so good at it now. He does ARVs in his sleep. And when you surround yourself with good people like Zack does, you find people who do things automatically, naturally. It's what they're wired to do. You'll find it. And it becomes easy. Mortgage brokers, insurance agent, that's a necessary evil. Investor buyers, property locators, private investors, and mentors. Get your business up and going. Shortcuts. Would you rather be making $1 million a year this year or 20 years from now? Yeah, it took me 20 years to get here. Don't do my path. Let me tell you what I did and just copy what I did. How about that? Copy what I do now. All right, it's your power team. Your success depends on your willingness to be coached by a person that cares about your future and success in life. Do you agree with that? Your success depends on someone you choose to coach you to be successful. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in them. And it works really well.